going on, Saints fans? Hope y'all are having a wonderful day. I was scrolling on the internet and I found this pretty interesting CBS Sports article, and they went through the top 100 players in the NFL as it currently stands. So we're going to go through the players that they mentioned that are New Orleans Saints. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you're not going to like the results of it, but it's two players that I really like, so I wanted to chop it up about them. Really quick update, really fast. Our Saints Now channel, we're kicking the teeth out of our Falcons Today channel in likes in July. So if you hate the Falcons, if you want to bury the dirty birds and make our little brothers look bad, not just in the field, but in the walls of chat sports, like today's video, and let's get this number up to 3,000 likes ASAP. So the NFL top 100 for the New Orleans Saints, according to CBS Sports, start off with number 50, the highest ranking member of the New Orleans Saints, Demario Davis. The man of God last season, according to CBS, was unranked, which is unbelievable, to be quite honest. I mean, to sit here in any situation, in any season, in any world, and tell me that Demario Davis is not a top 100 player is asinine to me. Now, according to PFF and those dorks with their numbers over there, he was the number 3 ranked linebacker, earning an 89.6 overall grade, and there is no doubt about it, not a single doubt in my mind, Demario Davis, without fail, is one of the best defensive players in the National Football League. He's not in the conversation of he's really good. No. He is great. Now, CBS Sports said this about number 56. He is one of the leaders of their defense and one of the more underrated players in the league. Totally agree with that for the record. He excels in both pass coverage and the run game. The only issue is his age at 35 years old. But here's the thing. Demario Davis, sure, he's 35, but he has aged like a fine wine. He's playing his best football of his career. His production now is better than it was with New York. It's better than it was with Cleveland. And I really think that there is zero concern heading into year 13 for the man of God. Last year, 121 tackles. That is tied for his career ranks across all 13 seasons that he has been in the NFL. That is really, really good production. And across the NFL as a linebacker, he tied for 28th in tackles, 56th for sacks, and 29th for tackles for loss. Obviously, I would like to see those numbers be higher, but Davis has been so good. And in terms of where his production last season compares to where his now 13-year career in the past 12 seasons, 121 tackles is second best of his career. 6.5 sacks, tied for first. The tackles for loss, tied for third. And the pressures, sure, it's fifth, still the top half. He's playing his best football. Demario Davis is not showing signs of slowing down. He earned an extra 2 years on his contract because he's been playing so well. And if you are sitting here saying, Trace, you're just a homer, you just started saying this because he's a Saints fan. Well, let's look at what PFF said. Fred Warner, it's hard to argue, he is the best linebacker in the league. Fred Warner and Demario Davis are two people in company. That is it. They're the only linebackers with 35-plus run defenses and coverage grades since 2021. Let me make that very, very clear here. Demario Davis and Pete Werner, only linebackers with 85-plus run defense grade and coverage grades since 2021. Demario Davis, 85.6 run defense grade. Coverage grade is over a 90. Fred Warner, 91.5 run defense, 90.9 coverage. Demario Davis is one of the best linebackers in the league. He is not the 50th best player in the league. To say he is the number 50 best player in the National Football League is absolutely absurd to me. So what do you think of this ranking? Is it too high? Is it too low? Or do you think it's fair? I think it's way too low. I think Demario Davis should be in the conversation of a top 30 player in the league. I think he is one of the best players on the defensive side of the football, and without a doubt, he's one of the best linebackers. So share your thoughts in the comment section and let me know what you think. So another player, and the only other player in the top 100, according to CBS, Honey Badger. And I love the Honey Badger. He is a damn good football player. Let me make something very, very clear here. I think the Honey Badger has been playing exceptional football recently. Last season, he ranked 81, so he moved down a few spots according to CBS Sports, but PFF had him as the 10th best safety with an 81.3 overall grade. And, despite him being 32 years old, he's still one of the best safeties in the league. And it's hard to argue about that, not just in terms of his on-field production, but the off-field too. He's a phenomenal leader. He's a phenomenal man. He's a phenomenal philanthropist. I mean, everything that this man does, number 32, is absolutely exceptional, and it's done with humbleness, grace, and I just cannot think of many players over Tyrann Mathieu that have the overall impact that he has had in the league. CBS Sports saying this about the Honey Badger: even at 32 years old, he continues to be a playmaker on defense. He has a knack for the ball and can do a lot of things. He can play near the line of scrimmage, and he can also excel on the back end. And a while back, I put out this tweet because PFF put out an article ranking him as the 10th best safety, and I just took a screenshot. I said, PFF ranked Tyrann Mathieu as the number 10 safety. What do you think? Tyron Matthew proceeded to reply to my post, and this is what he said: I'm no late boomer. I've been doing this shit for 10 plus years. I'm 32 years old. I was him since I was 18 years old. People try to discredit me, but truth is, not many people can do what I did in a 5'9", 185-pound body. And I couldn't agree more. Tyrann Mathieu is playing his best football. And at the size that he had, all of the question marks around him coming out of the draft, he has done everything he can to prove all of the doubters wrong and to solidify himself as one of the top, not just defensive players or safeties in the league, but as one of the top players in the league. And I love Tyrann Mathieu. I'm excited to see him continue to play really good football. And just straight up, there are not 91 players better than Tyrann Mathieu. There are not. If you think there are, if you are sitting here and you honestly believe it, if you to your core believe Tyrann Mathieu is the 91st best player, I want you to name all 90 players ahead of him, because that's not the case. Tyrann Mathieu is a top 60 player, top 50, dare I say. I mean, he's one of the best safeties. He's one of the best leaders. He's one of the best players. His on-field impact is unbelievable. There are not 91 players in the National Football League better than Tyrann Mathieu. And if you think that Tyrann Mathieu's the GOAT, if you think the Honey Badger don't care and you love number 32, I need you to like this video, hit the thumbs up icon, and show some support to our boy. The Louisiana Sun needs our help, so let's hit the thumbs up icon right there. Paulson Adebo, it's worth mentioning, he was actually named as an honorable mention according to CBS Sports, and sure, I can understand why, but again, I have a hard time naming 99 players better than Paulson Adebo, or hell, at this point, 100 better players. Paulson Adebo is really good. He was one of the best corners in the league last year. He filled in exceptionally well for Marshawn Lattimore when he's been missing time over the past 2 seasons. To say that he isn't a top 100 player, I just disagree with. Call me a homer, whatever you want. I just don't disagree, or I just don't agree with it. And for players just not mentioned at all, there was 3 players mentioned in this article. 2 of them ranked in the top 100. 1 of them was an honorable mention. Marshawn Lattimore, Chris Olave, Chase Young, Derek Carr, Taysom Hill. None of them ranked. None of them mentioned. Not even as an honorable mention. And sure, you can make the argument that maybe Chris Olave isn't a top 100 player yet. But if you're going to include Garrett Wilson in that conversation, you damn sure better include Chris Olave. Derek Carr? Sure, maybe he's not a top 100 player, but he's a quarterback. And you're going to sit here and tell me that there are certain players that play linemen, that play linebacker, that play safety, that play corner, that aren't that great, that are probably just better names. You're going to put them over that. And if we're going to talk about the NFL top 100 and you don't have Taysom Hill on that list, you don't know ball. Straight up, you do not know ball. Taysom Hill is, without fail, the best football player in the league. I'm not saying he's the best tight end. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback. I'm not saying he's the best running back. I'm not saying anything. But he is the best player that encompasses the sport of football better than anyone. Who else is lining up on kick return, on punt block, who's blocking punts, blocking field goals, running the ball, catching the ball, throwing the ball? Who else is doing that? No one. Only Taysom Hill. There's a reason I don't have him as a position. I have him as a flex because he does it all. And to not even mention any of these guys in the top 100, I think it's malpractice. But I'm having a really hard time getting through this video because I'm fired up. But if you want to get more hot takes and more fiery opinions like you got in this video, feel free to hit me up on Instagram at TraceGirouard48_ or give me a follow on X, formerly known as Twitter, at TraceGirouard48 as well. The links are in the comments section and description of this video. Shout out to you guys for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all stay golden. See you next time.